Right off the bat, it would be a mistake to treat Gregorian chant like it was in a row of musical genres and options that would be chosen in a playlist. It is not that. Pius X, Benedict XVI, Pope John Paul II taught us Gregorian chant isn't one amongst the many options to compare against the standard. It is the standard to which all other forms of music are to be compared. It has no rival as a form of sacred music within the church. Hi, and welcome to another video. Why then do we use music in prayer at all? While prayer is the art of communicating with God, music makes it more splendid, more beautiful. Music isn't supposed to be a song break between our prayers. Rather, we are singing our prescribed prayers, and Gregorian chant is ideally suited for that. The reason this is so is because the traditional prayers of the church are not written to be lyrical. They are not bound to a time signature, like praise and worship songs, for example. The chant is not a slave to a drum beat, which is always in a 3-count or 4-count. You can't force a traditional prayer, a gospel reading, or a psalm into any time signature. Different forms of music will affect us in different ways. The more baser forms of rock music, hip-hop, rap, are more likely to appeal to the concupiscible appetites that desire bodily goods. For example, if a person wanted to be amorous with their girlfriend, they'll put in a specific type of music, which will heighten those senses associated with that. Or another example, acid rock is more likely to get us all worked up. The great philosopher Plato mentions how music actually works on the different appetites. He says, when going to war and you wanted people to fight more strongly, you'd play a certain type of music. And when you wanted them to be more passive, you played something else. Gregorian chant appeals to the will. It lifts the mind and the heart to God. It makes us have a devotion to God, the things that are of God, heaven and the saints. It also gives us a sense of fear of the Lord. For example, if the tone is lower, it has a sense of gravitas in the way things are done. The chant helps with living a life of recollection, which is very important when it comes to prayers which span over multiple days. For example, a novena. Say you're on the 4th day of a novena and you're struggling with your recollection. Because chant tends to quiet down the lower faculties, it helps in those times when you feel you cannot focus or there are so many distractions. If you have it playing in the background, particularly when you're working, it doesn't have to be loud. For example, you could play it at a very low volume. It's almost imperceptible, and it would serve you well with regards to quieting down your lower faculty and focusing on your prayer and keeping you recollected throughout the day. It also helps to have it playing at a low volume while you sleep. And another thing, Gregorian chant also helps a person sense any defects in their lower faculty. For example, if a person has problems with anger and they realize that listening to Gregorian chant quietens that problem down, then it means that you have a problem with anger. Gregorian chant is a powerful weapon to have in one's arsenal with regards to spiritual warfare. And it was also a great means to bring us closer to God. If you're interested in these types of videos, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in another video which will bring you closer to God and are passionate about Him, click on the video right there, and I'll catch you on the other side.